This is the first exhibit room of the Yundongju Memorial Museum. The first room is named 서시, or in English, Prelude. Each room of the permanent exhibits take its name from some of the poems that the poet wrote. This room, Prelude, is the starting point of the relics getting introduced to the visitors. It is also the room where you first get to know the background of Yundongju. We will now take a look inside the case located at the center of the room. The order of exhibition guide will be anti-clockwise, starting from the book located at the right in the lower row. Yundongju was born in a Protestant family and attended mission school in his hometown as he grew up. He was a devoted Christian, always carrying his Bible with him. You can feel his devotion in his poems as well. The book that lies on the left of the New Testament is the Theories of Art, also owned by the poet. On the cover of the book, Yundongju wrote a quote from Mencius's book. The quote says that one should seek causes of his or her problems from oneself's attitude. This is similar to how Yundongju lived, which was to constantly self-reflect and look back on himself. On the far left lies the poetry book 사슴. It means animal deer. The poems were composed by a poet named Baekseok, who lived a similar historic period of Yundongju. At the time, this book was a limited edition, being printed only 100 covers. Yundongju, who was a middle school student at that time, was unable to buy the book himself. Instead, he went to the library that owned the book and copied the whole poems onto his notebook by handwriting them himself. You can feel that he was in love with poetry from a very young age through this book. On the above, you can see the collection of his poems all bound together in a book. He finished completing the book as he graduated 연희전문학교, Chosun Christian College. His devout religious beliefs, love towards literature, and continuous self-reflection laid the stepping stone towards publishing his own poetry book. It was not officially printed out, yet he chose 19 of his many poems and made them into a book, with the title 하늘과 바람과 별과 시, Sky and Wind and Stars and Poem. Next to it, you can see a poem titled 서시, or Prelude, handwritten by the poet himself. Prelude, as the title suggests, is the first poem of his poetry book.